In this video, we're going to look at the ways that the Clippers got threes against Minnesota in Sunday's win. Ty Lue wants the Clippers to hunt for threes, and one way to do that is to get out early in transition. Here we see Paul George pushing the tempo, pushing the ball to the middle of the floor. By pushing the ball to the middle of the floor, you draw not only one defender, but you occupy the eyes of a second defender, which can leave Kawhi Leonard open in the corner. George is going to hit Leonard, but that defender closes out. However, because of pushing the ball, the trail defender on Minnesota comes in and is completely out of sync, doesn't get back to where Paul George is. This allows Paul George to get off a wide open three that he ends up making here. Ty Lue likes his dummy screens, and he likes when Zubac comes up to set them. Here's Zoo walking up to set a screen, dummy screen. He points. The person he is pointing to here is Marcus Morris. He wants Morris to begin the action with George on the weak side. When the action starts, we're going to notice that George's defender is late to the action, and when he comes up, Zubac hits him with a nice screen. And we're going to actually see that George doesn't take the shot here. Instead, he pump fakes, and the Clippers are going to reset this ball by passing it to Jackson and getting it back to George. They're then going to flow into a little screen and roll action. Jackson is a solid screener. The Clippers love using their guards on screens. George is going to split the difference between the defenders, gets downhill, draws the defender off the corner shooter, which is Morris. Morris is one of the best corner three-point shooters in the league this season. He's wide open. This is a hell of a look for Morris, and he ends up banging this one home for the Clippers. A problem that Minnesota ran into in this game is they played drop coverage with their actual bigs, Towns and Naz Reid. Here, Rondo and Patterson flow into a little pick and roll action. Patterson's going to slip the screen to the wing and then run up to set a screen for Paul George. Hard screen being set by Patterson, but look where Towns is. He's in drop coverage. He's too far down. George recognizes the space he's given, pulls up above the arc. He makes this three. You cannot play drop coverage against George. The addition of Rondo has changed a lot for the Clippers. We're going to see double drag action here. First screen set by Patterson, who will then pop to the wing. Second screen being set by Zubac. He will roll. If the Patterson defender plays too far down, Rondo could hit Patterson for an open three. They don't. Ball swung to man and swung back to Rondo to flow into another pick and roll with Zubac. Great high screen set by Zubac. Rondo's going to snake back to the nail. When he does, we're going to watch this defender overplay off of man, which allows Rondo to hit man with the bounce pass. Man's left completely wide open. He's been a better three-point shooter as the season's gone along. This is also why you push the ball in secondary transition or just transition in general. You can create mismatches here. As Leonard pushes the ball up the floor, we're going to watch the defender, Hernan Gomez. He's being put into a 2-on-1 situation on the weak side. He has to guard Jackson, and he has to guard Kennard. Well, you can't do that. Kawhi recognizes this, passes it to Jackson. Defender now has to come over to stop Jackson from shooting. What's that do? It leaves Kennard wide open. Completely wide open three-point attempt. He's going to bury it. As an aside, look at Nick Batum at the top of your screen. He was incredible to watch with his celebrations on these. This is one area the Clippers have really been successful with this season, which is short roll decision making. Here we go. Terrence Mann's coming up. He's going to slip this screen. The reason they slip the screen is to create problems for the defense. Mann gets it. Weak side defender digs off Patterson, but he's still close enough to deny that pass, which could have gone to Patterson. Ball's going to get reset to George. Flow again. Mann's going to slip this screen. Now, Minnesota's going to switch this action. Best way to beat a switch is with the slip. Defender switches onto Mann. He's trailing Mann on the play. Mann's going to get the ball, has to make a decision. Got to decide, is Naz Reid the low man or is Ricky Rubio the low man, and make the decision off of that. When Mann gets the ball, Naz Reid is the low man. What does that mean? That means that Patrick Patterson in the weak side corner is the open guy to pass to. Mann makes the pass. It's an open look. Towns is late on the recovery, and Patrick Patterson knocks this one in. Always push the ball because you do not know what mismatches and shots you can create for yourself. Kawhi Leonard has his hands up for PG to pass him the ball. I'm open. PG hits him. Kawhi draws this defender over. And this defender was in the corner with Morris. So by drawing him over, it's an easy turn, an easy pass. Morris is wide open. Once again, one of the best corner three-point shooters in the NBA this season. Another example of why you push the ball in transition. Leonard has the ball and he's pushing. He's at midcourt. You know, technically this is a 2-on-5 with the trailing Minnesota defenders, but watch how many defenders he draws. He draws the eyes of 1, 2, 3, Fourth defender is the guy on him. Fifth defender is digging off of George in the corner. And as we see, George will be open. Leonard makes a simple pass to George. Defender's going to close out. What's that tell Paul George? Well, if the defender's closing out, Marcus Morris is going to be open on the wing. It's an easy swing to Morris. Drive, kick, swing, shot. This is perfect basketball to generate open threes. If you keep the ball moving and if you push the ball, good things will happen. Leonard is pushing in transition. He draws Anthony Edwards as one defender, draws Ricky Rubio as the second defender, continues to get downhill. The other added element of this is Zubac is running hard down the paint, which means Okogie has to account for him, which is going to draw Okogie off of Jackson. Leonard hits Jackson. Jackson reads that Okogie's come off of Zubac, which means what, folks? Zubac has his hands up and is open. Jackson's going to get him the ball. And as we see, Leonard points here, and he's pointing to Zubac to get the ball to George because George is open in the corner. It's a very nice skip pass by Zubac to George. And this defender coming over means Morris is not going to be able to shoot when he gets the ball swung, so Morris swings it. Same thing with this defender closing out to Leonard. Leonard knows he's not a shooter, swings it to Jackson. Defender closes out but doesn't get a hand up, and Reggie Jackson is an elite catch and shoot guy. Remember earlier when I said you can't play drop against Paul George? Well, here you go. Russell's going to get over the top of the first screen here very well. He actually does a really good job. But they rescreen the other side, and now he's caught. And as we see, Naz Reid is in drop coverage. He's too far low. George recognizes this. This is a pull-up three. This is easy money. This is what Paul George does daily. All right, last play, and another elite one for the Clippers. Zubac sets a high screen against D'Angelo Russell. This will allow Leonard to get downhill towards the rim and the elbow. As he does, it draws the big defender over, which will allow Leonard to Euro step across the lane. What this does, and what Zubac's roll to the rim does, is it pulls down the corner defender from the other side, which what does that mean? Morris will be open in the corner. It's an easy read for Leonard. Pass to the corner. Morris is open. He bangs us home. This is the kind of stuff the Clippers have been doing all season and why they're on pace for the greatest high-volume three-point percentage season of all time.